Streets report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was meeting in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia with the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And he actually said to the press that the drone and strike and cruise missiles that actually bombed the Saudi Arabian oil facilities this past weekend, actually one of the world's biggest oil processing centers. He actually called it an all-out war done by Iran, but Houthi rebels are actually claiming the attack. Houthi rebels being from Yemen, and they have their own beef with Saudi Arabia and all of that. So there's a logic there. But Saudi militants were actually showing people on the reporters remnants of the missiles and saying like, see, it couldn't have been from done by Houthi rebels, but Iran is taking no part. They're denying anything to do with it. And Javad Zarif, the foreign minister, was actually on CNN being interviewed, and when asked about what he would do if the U.S. or Saudi Arabia actually struck Iran, he said it'd be an all-out war. But he made it very clear that they don't want any war, especially off of something that's false. So we'll see what happens. Lawmakers are pressuring Trump and basically saying that, y'all can't go to war without congressional approval. Trump made it clear, though, yesterday that they actually imposed sanctions on Iran, but nothing is known yet as far as the details of the sanctions. So we'll see what happens. So Green World Red. Police report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. Remember how I told y'all yesterday how the acting director of National Intelligence, Joseph McGuire, actually was under fire and under investigation for withholding a whistleblower complaint and not submitting it due to the fact that it was a complaint that was suspected to be about a high-ranking White House official and or President Trump. Now, thanks to Washington Post, we actually had a scoop on that. It turns out that this complaint was filed by a U.S. intelligence official that actually was privy to a conversation being had between President Donald Trump and a world leader, and that there was a promise made. And this shit was so troubling that the official then reported this and had a whistleblower complaint and submitted it to Michael Atkinson, who's actually the Inspector General of the Intelligence Committee. And the dude actually agreed that this was credible and that it should reach one of the oversight committees. Now, Michael Atkinson is actually set to have a closed-door session where he's answering questions with the House Intelligence Committee today. But it's understood, while it's not known who the world leader was, during that time frame, it's understood that Trump met with 5 different world leaders, including Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, the presidents of Russia and North Korea, respectively. Green War and Graduation. Please report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. Sign my petition. Get Donald Trump on Twitter. You can find the change.org link in the video description since you're most likely watching this on YouTube. Now, Robert O'Brien has actually been chosen by Trump to be the 4th National Security Advisor. This is Trump's 4th one after ousting John Bolton last week. Now, the thing about this dude, he made a book in 2016 called While America Slept, Restoring American Leadership to a World in Crisis. And it outlines, it's like a collection of essays, but it outlines like some what is considered hawkish, some brolic as foreign policy. Now, this is somebody who's like good friends with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He was actually a top U.S. negotiator, hostage negotiator, and also was even sent by Trump this past summer to actually go out to Sweden to get ASAP Rocky, even though let it be understood ASAP Rocky got him, that situation just played out. Like Trump didn't go save ASAP Rocky. This is somebody who's also been a national security advisor for multiple Republican presidential candidates. So, it seems like business as usual. Green War and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. I told y'all how crazy Afghanistan gets when it's almost election time. I even broke this down in World Broadcast number 13. So to see it play out is crazy as they approach elections on September 28th. There was a U.S.-backed Afghan security force air raid that took place over a farm area in eastern Nangarhar that actually killed 30 civilians and wounded 40. Now, the local officials say they were likely targeting Islamic State hangout area, but ended up killing all these farmers that was just harvesting pine nuts all day. Now, you also have in the southern city of Talat, there was actually a Taliban truck bomb that went off that blew open the gates of a hospital. That local officials say it was like at a near Afghan security force base, but this ended up killing 20 people, injuring 97. So that's wild. Then you also have in Jalalabad, it was actually a suicide bomber and a gunman that ended up attacking and killing 9 people at a government building where they give out the national identity cards that you'll actually use for elections. This follows 48 people being killed on Tuesday. Like, shit is wild. The Taliban said after peace talks had dropped between them and the U.S. that they were going to step it up. Is this what they meant? Green War and graduation. News report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So, in Indonesia, there was actually forest fires that took place on the Sumatra and Borneo islands that had caused this toxic haze to actually settle over the areas that had put in the residents and hospitals. We're talking about thousands of people, and to shut down airports and schools all the way as far as Singapore and Malaysia. So military people actually had flew over the clouds yesterday and tried to sieve the clouds in order to get them to rain so that they could put out the fire. Officials suspect that 80% of the fires have actually been deliberately set in order to make way for palm oil harvesting. We'll see how true that is. We'll see what happens, though. Hopefully those people get it together, though, man. You know what I mean? Keep those people in their health and positive thoughts and prayers. Green War and graduate. News report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. In Bermuda, I told y'all about Hurricane Humberto that was actually on the way over there. It was a Category 3 hurricane. Luckily, it was not a direct hit, but it did put 28,000 homes and businesses out of power. So there's a lot of hurricanes and storms. There's a record-tying 6 storms that's actually hitting the eastern Pacific of the United States as well as the Atlantic basin. On them together. Record-tying 6 of them. There's a lot of storming going on. So, hopefully your people are safe. You know what I'm saying? If they're not safe, get them safe. Green War and graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So the University of California actually has been divested from the fossil fuel industry. You know our world broadcast number 9, performed by me, aka Divest. You know we all about that. We all for that. We need to stop investing in the shit that's hurting us anyway. Now, some 2 top university investment specialists are actually in the LA Times basically saying that the move was actually designed to it had less to do about caring for the environment, more to do about the actual fossil fuel investment. But nevertheless, people are celebrating that $150 million in fossil fuel assets was actually removed from the university's endowment. So hopefully other schools will follow suit. It's a bad investment and it's a bad idea. Green War and graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. Over in Israel, I told y'all about this election that was going on between current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the election contender Benny Gantz, who actually runs with the White and Blue Party. Netanyahu running with the Light Good Party, YKUB. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I like to think I am. But nevertheless, they both are running on platforms of doing harm to the Palestinians, annexing big chunks of the West Bank, and it was suspected that they may run, actually create a unity government if there was a runoff in the elections. Well, after the elections, it was too close to call, and Benny Gantz officially rejected Netanyahu's offer to actually form a unity government. So they're gonna have a runoff next month. We'll see what happens. Green War and graduate. News report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. I remember in 2011 when there was a nuclear meltdown in Fukushima nuclear plant out there in Japan. Well, it turns out that this was actually started by, first off, a magnitude 9 earthquake and a tsunami. And it basically caused the power at the plant to actually go offline, which caused a bunch of explosions that led to radioactive fallout all throughout the northern part of Japan, and it actually led to people being indicted. There were only 3 people criminally indicted. These were 3 executives for Tokyo Electric Power Company, but they were actually found officially not guilty for professional negligence, for failure to prevent any damage from the magnitude 9 earthquake and the tsunami. So, but yo, motherfuckers gotta tighten up, man. There's mutant sea life out here as a result of that nuclear waste getting into the the Pacific Ocean part of it. Stay woke, y'all. Green War graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. The Democratic Party donor and political activist Ed Buck was actually arrested in LA last night for basically charges that included running a drug house. Now, this is after, over the last 2 years, there have actually been 2 gay black men that have actually OD'd and died at his home. So he has these parties apparently, and people are even accusing him of being like a sexual predator and doing things of that nature. I don't know how you could be a predator towards men or women or adults, but I guess he was arrested. Faces a maximum of 5 years if he's convicted. Keep in mind that somebody even last week actually just overdosed on meth at his house, methamphetamine. So, there's something going on over there that got the black LGBTQ community wanting him to be charged with being a sexual predator and all of that. But, we'll see what happens. So, Green War and Graduation. What the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. Sign my petition, y'all. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Politicians.org, link in the video description, since you're most likely watching this on YouTube. They hated on us on the Facebook, hated on Black Fox News, hated on Grady Grant 716, and actually shut that shit down and disabled it. Can't even find a Grady Grant 716 handle, so you know what I'm saying? Can't even submit. I don't know what they got going on. I guess they want to keep y'all from getting this good information, but I'm gonna still let y'all know what's happening on these other media platforms. Man, Justin Trudeau, who's actually the Prime Minister of Canada, actually had to apologize for a yearbook photo that showed up from Vancouver High School where he was a teacher back in 2001. And they showed him at his party with, a bunch of white girls around him. He's dressed up in turban and some Arabian gear and all of that, with his hands and face colored dark brown. Now people are saying he's doing brown face or black face or whatever, but he apologized, said he was trying to look like Aladdin. So I don't know, do you forgive him or not? Green War Graduation.